Some moments feel small when they happen. A joke, a laugh, a sentence said without thinking. But sometimes, one careless joke opens a door to something that quietly changes two lives forever. This is one of those stories, a Christmas Eve, a simple act of kindness, and a question that stopped my heart and made me realize that pretending can sometimes lead you straight to the truth. Before the story begins, take a second to support the channel. If you enjoy real-life stories that warm your heart and remind you that kindness still exists, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Your Channel Name, where simple human moments turn into unforgettable stories. I met her a few months before Christmas, not through a dating app, not through friends, just one of those random moments life throws at you when you're not paying attention. She worked at a small bookstore near my apartment, the kind of place that smelled like old paper, coffee, and quiet dreams. I used to stop there after work, mostly to kill time. She noticed what I liked to read before I ever told her. That small detail alone told me a lot about her. We talked a little at first. Nothing special. Weather, books, complaints about long workdays. But over time, our conversations got warmer, longer, more honest. One evening, as Christmas lights started appearing in shop windows, she looked tired. Not long day at work tired. The kind of tired that sits behind someone's eyes. I asked if she was okay. She hesitated, then smiled like she didn't want to ruin the moment. But the truth slipped out anyway. She told me Christmas was hard for her. Her parents lived far away. Her last relationship had ended right before the holidays. And Christmas Eve, especially, felt unbearably quiet. She said it casually, like it didn't matter, but her hands gave her away. They kept fidgeting with the edge of her sweater. I didn't know what to say. So I did what a lot of people do when they feel awkward. I joked. I smiled and said, "Hey, if you want, I'll pretend to be your boyfriend on Christmas Eve, just so you don't have to feel alone." She laughed, a real laugh, the kind that makes you feel proud for causing it. Then she looked at me, really looked at me, and said, "Pretend or real?" The air changed. I felt it instantly. My joke had crossed a line I didn't even know was there. I laughed it off at first. I said something stupid like, "Well, I mean, pretend, unless you need Oscar-worthy acting." She smiled again, but this time softer, almost thoughtful. "Let's pretend then," she said, "just for Christmas Eve." I agreed, still thinking it was nothing, just a kind gesture, a favor, something that would make her feel better for one night. Christmas Eve came faster than I expected. We decided to keep it simple. Dinner at a small restaurant, a walk through the neighborhood with all the Christmas lights, and then hot chocolate at my place. Nothing fancy, nothing romantic. At least, that's what I told myself. When she arrived, I almost didn't recognize her. She wasn't dressed up in a dramatic way. No glitter, no red dress. Just a simple coat, her hair pulled back, and a nervous smile that made her look younger somehow. She looked hopeful. We walked side by side through the cold streets, pretending to be something we weren't supposed to be. Holding hands felt strange at first, like borrowing someone else's life, but after a while it felt natural, comfortable. At dinner, she laughed more than I'd ever seen her laugh. She talked about her childhood Christmases, baking cookies with her mom, falling asleep under the tree, waking up before everyone else. I listened, really listened. At some point, I realized I wasn't pretending anymore. When we got back to my place, we sat on the couch with mugs of hot chocolate. Christmas music played quietly in the background. Snow tapped gently against the window. She looked at the tree I'd decorated badly and smiled. "Thank you," she said softly. "For what?" I asked. "For not making me feel like I was just killing time tonight." That hit me harder than I expected. She wasn't thanking me for pretending to be her boyfriend. She was thanking me for being present, for choosing kindness over convenience. We sat in silence for a moment, then she spoke again. "Can I be honest?" I nodded. "I didn't want you here because I needed a boyfriend," she said. I wanted you here because you made me feel seen. Something in my chest tightened. I realized how rare that feeling had become for both of us. As the night grew quieter, she rested her head on my shoulder. I didn't move. I didn't want to break whatever fragile peace had formed between us. I thought about how easy it would be to walk away after tonight, to go back to being friendly strangers in a bookstore. But kindness has a way of asking for courage. When the clock neared midnight, she sat up and looked at me again. The same look from before, the one that scared me. "So," she said, "is this where the pretending ends?" I took a breath, a deep one. "I don't want to pretend anymore," I said. She smiled, not wide, not dramatic, just enough. That Christmas Eve didn't end with fireworks or movie-style romance, no big kiss, no promises. But something real began. In the weeks that followed, we kept choosing each other. Small choices, coffee after work, texts that said, "Did you eat today?" Kindness that didn't ask for anything back. And that's what changed everything. Not the joke, not the pretending, but the decision to care when it would have been easier not to. Years later, I still think about that moment, how close I was to saying nothing, how close I was to letting her feel alone. Kindness doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes it starts as a joke. Sometimes it scares you. But when you offer it sincerely, it has the power to turn a lonely Christmas Eve into the beginning of something beautiful. So if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Never underestimate the impact of being kind in a moment that feels small. You never know whose life it might quietly change. And sometimes, it might change yours too. If this story touched you, take that feeling with you today. Be kinder than necessary. Listen a little longer, care a little deeper. Because kindness, when it's real, has a way of coming back when you least expect it.